Let's get to tonight's selections. Puck will drop 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific. You can watch every game from now on ESPN. No more TNT action, just every game on ESPN. And the Lightning, to me, we'll just use this term again, as I did in the last video. They have started to flex their muscles. They've had the better of the chances, while the Rangers were focused on, throwing their weight around and making sure that Igor Shesterkin doesn't get run in the blue paint. I mean, that's all that Gerard Gallant talked about. And I've spent some time around Gerard Gallant. He is an eye for an eye guy. But the problem with being an eye for an eye guy this time of year is, when you got one eye focused on being physical because you don't like how the opposition is handling your goaltender, you take an eye off the prize. And I think both eyes on the Stanley Cup final are definitely square on getting there from the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning have one more hurdle to prove. They have to prove that they go to MSG and get a W. They've lost 4 straight games in New York, and if they can do that tonight, they're on their way to a date with the Colorado Avalanche. Listed goaltenders, of course, Shesterkin, Vasilevsky. That's not going to change barring injury. Odds tonight, let's take a look at the official number. And it's about what you would expect. Tampa Bay minus $1.25 on the road. I know that looks like a juicy number to take the Rangers, who have had a ton of success at home and a ton of success against Tampa Bay overall this season. The under 5.5 minus $1.40, 5.5 under minus 40, and it was 5 at like 3 o'clock this morning. It was 5 for a second, and I really thought about jumping on the over, but it moved to 5.5 minus $1.40, so that puts me more in a little bit of a comfort spot as to where I was going to go anyway. As the series goes on, guys, you can see the Lightning are just getting stronger, even down 2-1. I never ever felt like that they were threatened in any way. I thought Tampa Bay had plenty of advantages, and it was just a matter of taking advantage of the bounces. I mean, you get 50 shots on net, you should win hockey games. I don't care if Shesterkin's in net at all. You cannot allow that many shots on your netminder and expect to come out with a W against the 2-time defending champions on a consistent basis. If you watch these games closely, Tampa does the little things. Well, what does that mean? What does the little things mean? Well, the Rangers were never able to have any kind of sustained offensive zone time against Tampa Bay. It was always carry the puck in or dump it in. That's how they got it into the zone. Maybe a shot on, maybe a turnover, but it was never multiple shots on. And Tampa Bay was very active defensively. We talked so much about how good they are as far as offensive defensemen, but both Colorado and Tampa Bay's defensemen, we never talk about how good those blue liners are, and they have been good throughout the series. Now you add 2 key injuries into the equation: Dylan Strome and, of course, Philip Hedl, who may or may not play. We know Strome skated, didn't play in the last game. Maybe he's close, but the fact of the matter is, even if they both skate, are they going to be 100%? And if you're not 100% down the middle against one of the most dangerous teams in the NHL, I just don't know how you're going to be able to compete. We talk about teams that also have experience. And that when you're a 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion, there's no more better experience than that. And what does experience mean? Well, experience means discipline. It means composure. It's those 2 things have to be at the crescendo at this time of year, which I think that they are for Tampa, because whether they're down in a series or down in a game, they never change who they are. They're always the same hockey team. They always play with a flavor of discipline. And I think that is starting to be the difference between these 2 teams. We have seen, just for an example, Tampa Bay carry the puck into the offensive zone. Well, there may not be anything open in front, so instead of trying to force something, which usually results in a turnover, especially against Tampa or against the Rangers, who are very good defensively themselves, just dump it into the corner. They go win a battle. They create offense over the fact that they think they're going to be more tenacious than you and your own zone. That is the difference between a team that has composure and discipline versus one that's still learning how to win, which I think the Rangers are in that in that boat. We have seen this time and time again where it is the quick passes, the knowing where everybody is on the ice. It is having, vision. We talk about hockey IQ. Hockey IQ means you not only know where you're supposed to be, but you know where everybody else is going to be too. And that creates plenty of offensive opportunities. And you watch guys when they don't have the puck. What are they doing to make themselves successful? And you see guys that are trying to get to open spots to make them accessible for the puck handler. And this happens all the time. So when you're watching these games, don't just watch who's got the puck and see what happened. Watch what everybody else is doing to create offensive opportunities. And between these two teams, there's no comparison. I mean, Tampa Bay is the better of the two teams. Yes, I know home ice energy is going to be huge for the Rangers, where Tampa Bay has lost 4 straight games. But again, from a wagering perspective, it is keep it simple. Do what you know, and what I know is this. Over the last 109 games, and I know that's a big sample, but what happens is when you're Tampa Bay and you're a 2-time champion, that sample, it's not about the amount of games. It's about who you are in your culture as an organization. And over the last 109 games, Tampa Bay has won 72% of those games after their opponents have scored 2 goals or less in their previous game. Translation, if you're not scoring goals, don't expect to get healthy against Tampa Bay, because this is about their culture that won't allow you to stand after you've been knocked down offensively. Tampa Bay is a team that you have to get to early. If you don't, they will figure you out and figure you out fast, and they'll suffocate you into submission, which we saw in the last game. So let's get to tonight's official selection. Tampa Bay has won 6 of 7 after a W. 193-90. 283 games. I get it. But this is the culture of Tampa. That is their record after playing on 1 day's rest. This machine is difficult to stop, and we have seen that over 2-3 seasons. It's not just the cup years. This team has been real good for a long time and would be even better barring injuries. The Rangers are just 17-40 as an underdog in the postseason overall in their history, and more recently, 3-8 as a dog. So our 2 official selections, we're going to take Tampa Bay minus the 1.5 plus the $2, and we're going under that 5.5 minus $1.40. I suspect this will be a 2-1, 3-1 game with an empty netter at the end. That's going to give us the 2-goal margin. If it's 2-1, they'll make it 3-1. And of course, if it gets to be 4-1, which we predicted last game, which was dead on, that's going to be an easy win. You can't give me $2, and I only have to win by a couple goals with a team like Tampa Bay that I think is getting stronger, and the margin is getting wider between these two teams.